Good morning. Thanks for dropping by. My name is Leonard Lloyd, and I live and deal with a mental illness. The purpose of doing this is to help those of you that may be going through something and to educate those of you that can't, don't, or won't try to understand what it is for somebody to live and deal with a mental illness. This is something that I talked about with my therapist, and a couple of weeks ago I was giving some information to a friend of mine. That's my oldest child, Alexis. Say hello, Alexis. And he thought it would be a good idea or therapy for me to help do this to try to educate people. But first of all, there is nothing to be embarrassed about to have a mental illness. There is nothing to be ashamed of because you have a mental illness. None of us wakes up on a sunny day and say, hey, I think I'm going to go out and get a mental illness. It doesn't work that way. Now, me, myself, I have bipolar disorder 2, anxiety, depression, PTSD. The list is so long, I could go to Florida and back before I get through with it. So to shorten it down and not to get my tongue all tied up, I just tell people I'm crazy. That's the simplest thing to do. And I deal with this through humor. Humor, it helps me deal. It helps me to function. And it just takes a load off of me. So that's how I deal with it. We all know our bodies and our minds better than anybody else. If you find yourself getting very argumentative, compulsive, you're laughing one minute, crying the next, you find yourself withdrawing from people and things that you love to do, go get some help. You would need to, first talk to your primary physician, who would suggest that you see a psychiatrist and a therapist. And you have to do all three. You just can't do one or the other. The psychiatrist prescribes the medication. The therapist talks to you and helps set up a program for you, and your doctor will keep track of what you're doing as far as medication. Having a mental illness, it's a lifelong thing. This isn't something that's going to go away in 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 months. So just like I've had to do, I have to learn to adjust to it. On those days when I'm not feeling it, I stay home away from everybody. When I'm on all thrusters, it's party time. The hardest thing to do is to not only admit that there's something wrong, but to go see someone and admit that you have something wrong, saying it out loud. That takes so much stress off your shoulders. It's just unbelievable. So again, if you feel yourself compulsive, like me, I'm a compulsive shopper. I'm so far into debt, if I lose another 10 pounds of cash, I have to go in the corner and start working. And I'm very serious about that. If I go to the store and I see 10 shirts, all different colors, I got to have them. I go to the store, Mrs. Dash has 14 flavors. Got to have them. If I don't, somehow I feel inadequate. There are times when I feel dejected, not wanted. I've had friendships damaged. I've had friendships that have irreplaceable. And I've also had to leave a group that meant the world to me. And again, this is all to educate those who can't, don't, or won't try to understand. Because it's hard. We're all raised and taught that all disabilities are visible. They aren't visible. Cancer isn't visible. Diabetes isn't visible. Mental illness is not visible. But there always has been a stigma with that. And part of this is to get over that stigma and let you know what's out there and who is out there to give you the help that you need. So every once in a while, I like to pop in and try to give you some advice and help that I can. Again, I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. I'm just a queen that's trying to make it through the day. And I hope you all will tune in and with some more advice that I have for you. Thanks for stopping by.